What I do. Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to the channel. UEFN released the other day. I was kind of watching to see what everybody does. I spent quite a few hours playing around, and what I saw was a lot of people are putting out these basic channels, or just putting basic content out on their channels. How to do basic things like landscapes and stuff like that. So I figured I would try to figure out a way to fill in the gaps. I'm gonna put a bunch of links in the description just for the basic stuff. I mean, if you want to go find the basic stuff, there's thousands of videos already, and it's only been just a couple of days. So I want to do the stuff that nobody else is doing. I want to help you guys with the things that nobody's talking about. And one of those things is, let me close this out right quick. Um, I knew it was going to happen, but today Epic posted their reminder of Fortnite's content policies and enforcement. And what this is a lot of people are going out there and they're putting stuff in there that doesn't belong to them, or they're making stuff that is IP of other companies or whatever. And then one guy did like some nude stuff, so they're definitely not going to let you do that. They will ban you for that, and you will not be able to get your account back. Um, what I do want to show you guys on this video is there are literally thousands, tens of thousands of already pre-approved Epic, by Epic, um, and from Epic, and from other companies that deal with Epic, already tens of thousands of assets that we can just put right into our games. And nobody's talked about that yet, so that's what we're going to talk about today. Um, First of all, if you go into your launcher and then you go to Unreal Engine, and in your marketplace, every month, under free right here, it says free for the month. Every month on the first Tuesday of every month, whether the Tuesday's on the first day of the month or the seventh day of the month, Epic puts out these free assets. And what they do is they pay these developers like $7,500 to let them just give these assets away. Um, there's not a lot that they gave away this month. I mean, there's some cool stuff here, but like this multiplayer vaulting system, you're not going to want that for anything because it's all blueprints. Um, there's like an oak forest, but we got plenty of trees and stuff like that we can get. There's a modern house. I mean, if you want to just look at some of this stuff, this one in particular, we're going to make a whole video on this because this has to do with post process, and you're definitely going to want to use post process, and you can even do all kinds of effects with it. You can make post process volumes and then put them in rooms and have like each room of your game or whatever look different. And by different, I mean you just have to look at what post process does. Um, you can have from those kind of effects all the way down to like cartoons or these digital effects or whatever. It's just cool stuff that you can do. Anyway, back to the marketplace. If you go back to free and then you go to marketplace collection, you have like all these asset kits from games. These are actually from games that were previously produced, that Epic acquired these from the game developers or from themselves, because some of these games that Epic Games actually developed, like this City of Brass environments, it has all this stuff in here. Um, and then all the way to all the Paragon stuff is in here. And you saw, I guess, if you saw the Infinity Blades grasslands on Fab, none of this that's on Fab, but all this other stuff is not. But I mean, you can still import it into your project, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Also on free in the permanently free collection, there's like thousands and thousands of things inside of here. Um, some of the stuff, I mean, you just have to look and see what you're getting, because this is like low poly style deluxe 2 tropical environment. This has like a lot of assets we can use, but like Viz AI, that's not something we could use. Or this is basic pickups VFX set Niagara. We can use that kind of stuff, and I'm going to show you how. If you go over to your library, well, what you do is you pick the assets that you want to get from the marketplace. Oh, come on. Anyway, and you go ahead and purchase that, and then it'll make it available down here in your Yeah. Like say if I wanted, go back to free and just pick any of these that's free. Control rig samples pack. Yeah, that might be something we could use too. But if you just click free, then all this stuff gets put together. There's like an entire old west town in here too, by the way. It's pretty cool. But just go through it, add it to cart, and then check out. And then when you come over to your library, it is actually down here in your vault. And as you can see over the years, all the stuff that Epic's given away and all the stuff I bought, I have enough assets that I should be busy for a really long time. To get these into your project, I'm going to just open up, where is that learning? I can't remember what we called it. Creative tutorial. Like this, I'm going to open this project. If you didn't follow along, if you don't have an Unreal Engine 5.1 project, you have to download Unreal Engine 5.11. There 5.2 is available as a beta, but don't use that. Use the 5.11 because it's prone to crash. So anyway, launch that and then just create a new project. It doesn't matter what kind of project you create. Just make sure it's like a game so things will look normal. But I'm going to pause this while this is loading, and then once we load into the project, I'll show you how to get this stuff. Okay, I'm loaded into my project. This was from the creative tutorial that we did in the previous videos, but we're not going to need any of this. If you would just want to do a new project, you can. I'm just doing this because it's easy to open, and I got too many project disk or too many project files. Let's see if I've already got something in here. Yeah, the Infinity Blade Warriors. It's nothing I'm going to be able to use. Okay, if you go back to Epic Games here, or your Epic Game Launcher, and go to your vault that's in your Unreal Engine library, whatever stuff that you added will be down in here. So like, let's say if I went to the marketplace. Boy, this thing is really being slow. I'm in the middle of a huge storm right now too. Permanently free collection. Like this low poly deluxe 2 tropical. Then I can just go back to my library. Low poly deluxe. And see, there's that. And I can just add it to this project, which is, and if it doesn't show it here, then click show all projects, because these are all we're going to do is just be getting static meshes mostly out of this. So none of the other stuff, the stuff that wouldn't work, is not in there. Please select the closest alternative version, and I'm just going to select like 427. Add to project. We'll have to add it to this project, and then we'll migrate it over to our Fortnite game. And my internet's going really slow. But all this stuff is already pre-approved by Epic. When Epic sees it, when their teams see it, when you go to upload your island, then they're already going to know that this stuff is legit. Plus, they're gonna see the folders and stuff anyway. They're gonna know where you got it from. And a lot of that, most of the reason that they're doing this is because of the guy that started posting naked models, and they're really they just spent $400 million on a lawsuit, so they're not going to mess around with exposing kids to anything they can get sued for again. But at the same time, if you're using people's IP, then they have to take that seriously too, because they are the ones responsible. They are the ones that'll get sued for it. Used to be they didn't really care, because people were like, it was really limited what people could do. But now it's not so limited. You could like take other people's stuff they made and just stick it right in your project. Anyway, if you go back into your game here, and you'll already see that deluxe LPS Deluxe 2 Tropical Environment. Now, this is all the meshes, the materials, the textures, example maps, not going to need. All you have to do is take these three folders here, right click, and then go to migrate, right click on it and select migrate. Make sure that that example maps right there didn't get picked up. You just want to kind of scroll down here and just look at it. Materials, two-tone materials, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's all materials. Yep. Textures. Okay. And then when you migrate, go to documents. And then if you go down to Fortnite projects, Underworld is my project. Go into plugins and then select this folder, which is the name of your the name of the island that you made, and then go into content and then click select folder, and it is going to move all that stuff from that tropical environment into my Fortnite project. Okay, what are we waiting on? It's hung up on the pirate ship for some reason. Let me see what actually got took in here. Underworld content, tropical environment, meshes, mountain, pirate. Yeah, a lot of the stuff has already made it in there. I guess it's still going. It's apparently hung up on something in there. I don't see my pirate ship. We'll let it continue and see what it does. It's still adding stuff. It look, yeah, there's the pirate ship. It did it. It finished it. Don't know why. Sometimes it hangs up on stuff like that. It's like it's trying to rewrite it or something. But anyway, then I can go into my Fortnite project here, and any of this stuff, you can just stick it into your levels. I mean, if you're just doing this by yourself or other people with UEFN, and it's not really going to matter. If you just wanted like a barrel, take it, stick it in there. Sometimes the materials aren't going to, it's the materials aren't going to automatically apply, and sometimes they are. You just have to mess around. If the material doesn't apply or whatever, you might have to go back and rebuild the material. But for most stuff like this, it's just going to work. We can put a whole pirate ship in here. This thing is giant. Yeah, that's what it was hung up on. The gigantic pirate ship. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that ship is bigger than this whole area that I got here. Hey, if you if you're worried about the size and your space and all, then your project size doesn't really take into account what's in these folders. It only takes into account what you place into the world. So that's not really going to be an issue. Unless you just put like everything from 100 different projects in there, and but most of this low poly stuff like this is going to take up hardly any room at all. Yeah, there's the giant ship. Yeah, I probably need to shrink it down. Hang on, I can just go to the properties here and do like point. Yeah. Okay, there's my little pirate ship. Anyway, if you look at that, the cells even work. If you want to take that, that's probably how they got that boat on that one game that I seen online. But anyway, if you want to make this stuff to where people can move it around, like using the remote inside of the 1.0 editor, then you have to actually convert it. I'm going to delete that. Like, let's take this chest right here. I'll add it down here. Go and add a blueprint class. And then you just do like building prop or building static mesh, depending on what you want to build. I'm just going to do a static mesh. I'm going to call it BP, or let's see, building static mesh, BSM. And then I'll just name it to whatever, like Pirate Chest 1. And then I can open that up. And then under the static mesh here, I'm going to dock this back out here. Under the static mesh, I'm going to pick this Pirate Chest 1. Just set that as my static mesh. Compile it. And close that. Back out here. And then just take the blueprint and put it out into the world. And then when you launch your session, then you can manipulate and stuff with the remote like you would with any other regular Fortnite item. We spend most of our time in game dev doing exactly what we're doing right now, waiting. And generally, when you're programming, you want to do stuff a little bit at a time and test, and a little bit at a time and test. But anytime you're doing like environments, you just want to do environments for hours and then go and test, like every once in a while, to just see what it looks like. Make sure you don't have cracks or anything like that, gaps. Because all these assets that I've added, removing project public API, saving asset, tropical environment materials, special materials. It's saving all those materials and all the items that we just added. I should just click save all. Here, I'm going to stop this or pause the video until that. Right, here we go. I'm back. As you can see, when you do a static mesh, you see the chest there. I click on it. I can't copy it. I can't move it. But basically, all I can do is I can delete it. And this is for the static mesh. So we'll escape out of that. Let's see. I'm going to just close this. Makes it easier. But if you go back in to BSM Pirate Chest. So if I look at, let's see, there should be a place for asset locals. I don't know where it's at. Oh, yeah, I do. If you just go back under underworld content, and then you can go to your tropical meshes, and then I was in the pirate folder. Let's go ahead and create the other blueprint class. This one is going to make a prop, and we'll call it BPP for blueprint prop, and then I'll call that Pirate Chest 1. As you can see, it's been deleted because I deleted it off there a minute ago. Just be sure and pick the right one. BPP Pirate Chest 1. I'll have to go to the static mesh and set that the same way that I did for the other one. Pirate Chest 1. I actually used Pirate Chest 2 there, but anyway. Doesn't matter. This is just for example. Alright, we can compile that. Go back in file, save all. Then I'm going to take this and move it out. Let's turn it around. Actually, the Pirate Chest 1, I think it's destroyable in game. We'll check that out too. So we'll just stick it in there. Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. Oh, it's popping past this stuff. Must have a collision there. Or we'll stick it back there. That looks good. Alright, I'm gonna launch session again. Hang on. I'm gonna save all. Dirty assets could not be saved. Okay. File, save all. You always want to save all before you go, and don't let it save itself, because it can come up with some errors. I've seen some weird ones. Just be sure and hit file, save all, and then launch your session afterwards. It's all kinds of buggy when you're using it on one PC anyway, when you're running your test and running UEFN, because it's running the editor and you're running the game at the same time. Anyway, I'm going to stop this again and then restart it after the project gets started. Alright, here we are. Now we're back. See, now if we pull out the remote, and since we built that one as a prop, then we can select that, put it, move it around, put it in different places, just like we would any other asset inside of Fortnite Creative. So like, if you build it into a prop like this, and then you're collaborating with people that are on console, then they'll be able to move this stuff around too and copy it. As far as the mesh only, since we left everything like it's probably is destructible, so if we go into game, then no, it's still not destructible. I was just wondering if it was. None of this other stuff is like, this is all just static meshes I just dropped into the world, so you can't interact with them in any kind of way, other than, just seeing it visually, or the sounds, or whatever. This is actually pretty cool. This is a gun system I created with Verse. I'm going to have to show you guys how I did that later on. Anyway, that's all for this video. I'm going to be putting out a bunch of more videos on other stuff. I mean, look, I think I got a list of some of the stuff that I'm going to do. The list is here somewhere. I'm going to do attached devices like this gun, whatever. We're going to do some Niagara particle stuff. And also we're going to do the post-process volumes. I'm going to show you how to make your games look like cartoons. You can do cartoon outlines to make them look completely flat. Or you can do like hazes or whatever. Thank you guys for watching.